Now, 1 month into 2026, and so far, road deaths stand at 16. Last year, 188 people were killed in collisions. That's up from 174 in 2024. Road safety campaigners say more enforcement is needed. But just how many Gardaí are policing our roads? Well, last year, Newstalk revealed that Gardaí missed their target of 75 new Roads Policing Gardaí in 2024. And we can now reveal this morning that they've missed their new target of 150 members going into the unit in 2025. And joining me now to discuss all of this is Newstalk's Alex Rowley. Good morning, Alex.
Good morning, Claire. Yeah, so a quick backstory. In 2024, the then Garda Commissioner Drew Harris appeared before an Oireachtas committee where he's being questioned about rising road deaths at the time. As we know, we've had probably a bad few years. He promised to appoint 75 new traffic guards in 2024 and then another 75 in 2025. The first target was missed, as we revealed this time last year, just as you said. Instead, the Garda Press Office told Newstalk that they'd appoint 150 officers by the end of 2025. So that was between the 2 years. But as you said, they've missed that target again. So just 79 Gardaí were appointed, which included the 23 in 2024 and 56 last year. So a shortfall in 71, but a bit better last year. Currently, the unit has just 645 personnel, whereas in 2009, the Garda Traffic Corps, as it was known then, had 1,200 members in it. But have people noticed that drop? Well, I decided to go out and ask some members of the public what they thought.
I see speed vans consistently where I live. Guards, checkpoints, definitely a lot more in the last few months. Just speed checks I've seen lately, and not a lot of the checkpoints.
No, I haven't seen a lot lately. I used to live in Waterford and I used to see a lot more. I'm just not thinking about it. I don't see as many now as I did when I lived in Waterford. It just doesn't seem to be as much of a Dublin thing now. A lot of the time it was in the city and I don't think I've been stopped in Dublin in years. I've been breathalyzed a few times. I don't drink, so I'm always okay with that. But yeah, I have been breathalyzed a few times.
I have gone through, I think, 2 checkpoints since getting my licence, and that was 2 years ago. I don't know about undercover cars, but I don't see enough Garda cars. In town, yes, but where I live, no.
Yeah, a couple times. I mean, over the bank holiday weekend, they're all out getting the overtime, but not often during the week or just a normal week. No, I'd rarely see them.
So you think you only see them really at bank holidays?
Yeah, it's the only times I remember it, to be honest, yeah.
And do you think we should be having more guards out in the roads, more?
I mean, probably. You see statistics on the news, we've some of the worst road deaths in the EU, and they're getting worse as well. Most of the world is getting better, we're actually getting worse.
Maybe a small bit more, yeah. Strategically decide where they should go a bit more and just kind of do more routine checkups here and there.
In terms of other people, I find when I'm driving on the motorway home from work or driving to work, everyone's on their phones. And that is why there is traffic. I get so frustrated. Now, I'm only a young driver, so I can't really say anything, but I'd say well-experienced drivers, they're just on their phones constantly. And that's why no one keeps up with the traffic on front of them, because they're on their phones. That would be what I can see. It's so frustrating. I'd say I'd get home quicker in the evenings if people weren't on their phones. There's no Garda cars on the road when I'm trying to go home.
Yeah, so you got a very clear answer, Alex, from those people.
Yeah, most people feel like they don't see the guards out and about in the roads. And I mean, even on my own commute, it's over an hour most days each way. And I've been driving for about 5 years. Not once have I been breathalyzed. Not once have I been drug tested at the roadside or at a checkpoint.
I've never been breathalyzed.
Really?
Yeah, and I've a longer driving career than you have, but I've never been.
But there you go. And my parents did the same. So, I mean, a number of groups campaigning for tougher enforcement are obviously disappointed by this news, including Leo Ligio from the Irish Road Victims Association, whose daughter Marcia was knocked down and killed some years ago.
It's not enough. And like we've seen, when the Gardaí tell people that they're going to be out there in force, and they are out there in force, the number of people that they're catching, speeding, drink driving, they're catching them. So if they were able to do that 365 days of the year with proper enforcement, it'll cut the road deaths. It's a no-brainer. The Gardaí have to be seen, as Guy Byrne said, the Yellow Jackets have to be seen on the streets.
As a campaigner, obviously last year, towards the start of the year and the first few months looked a little bit more promising than the previous couple of years. But in the end, we actually found that 2025 was worse on the roads compared to the year previous. What the guards would say is that road fatalities were well over 200 in 2009 when they had more guards in the roads policing unit. What's your general thoughts on that?
I don't think people are afraid of getting caught anymore. They don't think they're going to get caught, and then when they are caught, they're handed suspended sentences, punitive fines, and 3 penalty points, which isn't a proper deterrent. We need strong enforcement, and we need strong deterrents out there. Most people do obey the laws, but they have that cohort that just don't want to obey the laws, and they have to be. We talk about education. They have to be educated that you can't break the law, and if you do break the law, there's a penalty for it. So we have been calling for, like the RSA did a couple of years back, for double penalty points. That's all you deserve is maybe one chance. The person you knock down mightn't have that chance because you're speeding or you're drink driving or you're on your bloody mobile phone. What's more important? And we need the government to start showing an urgency towards this, and which we don't see. Yeah, we've seen recently with AI how they can push forward legislation very, very quickly. Why can't they do this with motoring? This motoring offences, they're not treated as a real crime. Cars can be fitted with speed limiters, which connected with the GPS, where the car won't be able to speed. At the moment, you have the assisted driving, but you can override that. The cars of the future, you won't be able to do that. We shouldn't be able to do that. If we wanted to stop speeding on the roads, we wouldn't be allowing car manufacturers to manufacture cars and go double the speed limit. I'm sorry, but if people aren't willing to obey the law, then they have to pay the consequences, or else it could be your family, it could be a member of someone you love that could be gone next.
That's Leo Legio from the Irish Road Victims Association there. A listener says we drive to Slane twice a week and back to South Dublin, and I haven't seen a guard since before COVID. They say it's a major issue. When I started driving, they say you'd be stopped going into a yellow box, and I'm not sure that rule even exists anymore. Well, it does, but does anyone abide by it? So Alex, what did the guards have to say about all this?
Well, it notes that retirements often happen, people move on to other units, and of course resignations are part and parcel of having a workforce. It continues to make the point that non-roads policing staff conducted over 75% of last year's checkpoints, and they were also responsible for 60% of intoxicated driving arrests. And obviously these figures today, Claire, also don't include all of those resignations and those, people transferring in and out to other units. Interestingly, the press office also said there is no minimum baseline for personnel allocation to any dedicated unit or priority area, which begs the question, why set targets you can't meet?
Yeah, well, they said it. They set the target.
Exactly, yeah. Drew Harris set it initially and then the press office again last year. So I asked the Labour Justice spokesperson, Alan Kelly, for his view on that.
That's completely contradictory from Gary Síochána saying that there's no baseline. Why did the Commissioner set a baseline? He's the one who set it. He said that they would have 75 and 75. That's 150. And now we know for a fact that it's actually 91. So that's 59, approximately 60 Gardaí less doing roads policing across Ireland. And you can see it. You can see there's a lack of roads policing in many parts of the country. There's a lack of roads policing in rural Ireland. There's a lack of roads policing in urban areas. And it's a simple fact of the matter that we don't have enough guards, full stop. But when it comes to this area, if the Commissioner makes a solid commitment that this is what is required as regards an increase in roads policing, and then that is not honoured, and then on Garda Síochána come out and say, well, actually, we don't really have a baseline. Well, then stop setting baselines, because you're the one who actually set them. So the real issue for me is, obviously, we need to ensure that we are recruiting and retaining, because the amount who are joining and leaving is very worrying. And on top of that, then, once we can get those numbers, we need to ensure that the most critical areas, road policing being one of them, that is resourced to the level required.
That's Labour's Justice spokesperson. So from the government's point of view, from what you've found, Alex, does it seem serious on cracking down on road fatalities and injuries?
Well, the Junior Transport Minister, Sean Canny, says he and his colleagues are, and I have been asking him about this, and also about the reduction of speed limits, which, as you know, has been happening. Local roads went from 80 kilometres an hour to 60 zones last year, but road deaths also increased in that year. So is that really the answer, or do we need more enforcement? Let's face it, none of us are angels on the roads. So I started by asking him his reaction to the shortfall in Roads Policing Gardaí.
So I'd say the Roads Policing Unit has received additional resources. It hasn't received the full complement that the Commissioner would like to have given them. But I think what's happening is that year on year the numbers are now increasing in the Gardaí. It's a very good career and people are attracted into it. Whilst they don't have the number, it doesn't mean that work is not being done. We also are using technologies like the average speed cameras and the fixed speed cameras which are good technologies to have. We're investing in more of that. We're also bringing in legislation to help detect cars that are not insured without actually having to stop them, this type of thing.
But do you think that, given all that, obviously all this work is being done, but at the same time, maybe they should just stop saying we'll appoint X many people in, because it's just a target that's going to get missed, whereas if they just say we'll keep adding, they can't go wrong.
Yeah, I think the most important targets are targets. We've had it with housing, over the years. Targets are one thing, but I think the most important thing for me is the target of reducing the number of road deaths. Whether the Gardaí want to put a target on what they're trying to achieve, that's fine, but I think the Gardaí are doing a good job with the resources that they have. You will not escape all the time. The most thing about that is escape what? Escape a serious collision, getting killed, killing somebody, injuring somebody long term, that they have profound injuries for the rest of their lives, and life-changing collisions. So I think it's important people think, are they trying to escape being caught, or should they do the right thing?
And while people will be reassured to hear how many people were caught drink driving, speeding and everything, I can already hear the texts. I've never been breathalyzed in my life. I'm 40. I can tell you, Minister, for a fact, I'm on the road nearly 5 years, and I drive between Wicklow and Dublin every single day, twice a day. I've never been breathalyzed, I've never been breath tested, drug tested, and I can count on one hand the amount of checkpoints I've been through as well. So I don't know if people feel the enforcement is there.
Yeah, well, the enforcement is there, and it's random where they hold their speed limits, and I've been breathalyzed, I think, once, and I'm a bit older than yourself. And I have seen checkpoints. I see a lot of checkpoints, and especially coming up and down from Galway to Dublin, you see checkpoints on the road. You have been lucky or unlucky in the sense that you have not been breathalyzed. It's not luck, it's just that they haven't had that experience. It's because we have so many roads. We have so many cars on the roads, they're not going to get to every place.
Yeah, and you mentioned the number of people killed on the roads. That was also in a year where speed limits were reduced on a lot of rural roads. Is that not evidence that, people who don't follow the speed limit won't follow it no matter what it is?
I think there is an element of that, and that's where I talk to people about personal behaviour. Now what I'll be looking at is the analysis of the effectiveness of these speed limits.
But does that not show then that reducing them is actually ineffective, and it's just you need to drive to the conditions?
Yeah, well, absolutely, you need to drive to the conditions. I think the fact that they have been reduced has been based on the fact that 80 was, people think they can drive at 80. We reduced it to 60, and now we're reviewing the effectiveness of that.
That is the Minister of State, Sean Canny, wrapping up that report from Alex Rowley. Alex, thank you very much.
Sure.
Now, listeners getting in touch, as Alex predicted in his chat with Sean Canny, as someone who drives 1,000 to 1,200 kilometres a week, the only time I hear about or see traffic enforcement is on the TV or the radio. Besides speed vans or at an accident, visibility is close to zero, and speeding, dangerous driving and phone use is everywhere. Every morning I set off, I'm wondering if someone careless is going to mean that I don't come home.